Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into today's video. The video today is going to be strictly answering some of your questions about the wrap, giving you a little bit of advice. I know there's a lot of you guys that saw me wrap the car and now you want to wrap your car. And I figured, you know what, I would do my best in kind of being as realistic as I can as to the whole process, what you should expect and stuff like that on your first ever wrap. Now, first of all, I wanted to show you guys the car on the outside. So we're going to enjoy a few clips of the car from the outside so you can see how it looks in the sun. The wrap came out really good, especially that it's my first time wrapping a vehicle. And you know, wrapping a part of the car is one thing, but wrapping the full car is another. And the reason is there's going to be some coordination in how you lay your material down, how you cut things, stuff like that. And for that reason, I totally suggest that you guys watch, you know, someone that professionally does wrapping and see the process that they go through. And that's what I did. I watched CK Wraps. He has a, you know, huge collection of videos about wrapping, teaching the tips and tricks and stuff like that that go along with wrapping and what you should expect and how to, you know, turn corners, how to cut, how to, you know, lay vinyl in spaces that maybe are not the easiest to get into. So for that reason, I definitely suggest that you watch those, educate yourself, spend the time learning, and most definitely just seeing someone do it is a very nice key to being able to, you know, pull this off. So that's what I did. So I spent some time, I looked it over, stuff like that, and when I was comfortable enough, I went and bought the material. Now the material cost is for the roll that I bought is $550 for a 5 by 60 foot roll. So that's a pretty big roll. You get a lot of film and it's enough to cover the entire car. I did have some excess left over, and if I had pre-planned a little better in terms of cutting and stuff like that, I probably would have had more. So because it was my first time doing it, some of the parts on the car I cut out a little too much film for. So now if I do it again, it'd be a lot better about cutting a little less. So what I learned works really well is if you take a measuring tape and you measure the dimensions of, you know, let's say the fender, and then you trim the film on the ground, and then you take that piece and then you take off the backing and apply it. So don't try to trim on the car, near the car, stuff like that. You'll end up using too much, and it's a little scary because if you cut out too little or too much or whatever, you can end up rendering that piece useless. So that's my first piece of advice. Measure the dimension of the car. Like, you know, I know the dimensions of the doors now. I know the dimensions of the, you know, the pillar right here, the quarter panel, stuff like that. All this stuff, I had written it down on a piece of paper and then measured the film on the ground and cut it and put my markings on it. So that way I could just have a nice piece that was cut out exactly how I needed. So that's the first piece of advice. The film I bought was $550, but that's because it's a satin film by 3M. There's going to be cheaper films, and there's going to be definitely more expensive films. So a lot of people were asking, why didn't I go with like a chrome color or something a little crazier, maybe psychedelic, stuff like that. Those wraps, the material alone on a chrome, like let's say a satin dark chrome or something like that, will run you around $2,000, or, you know, a little more even for some of the more premium stuff that's, you know, newly released. And the reason is because it's a thicker material, different type of wrap. And personally, it was a little scary trying to attempt a chrome wrap, because if you mess up, you're pretty much tossing hundreds of dollars down the drain, because that's how much the roll costs, and that's, every little bit of the roll is going to be close to $50 to $100. So I didn't want to be playing with that much money, especially since it's my first time going around to wrapping. So I was very comfortable spending $550 for a full wrap, considering shops around this area charge $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 even for wrap jobs. I felt comfortable paying the $550 and spending my time on it. Now, when shops charge $2,500 or $3,000 or $4,000, I feel like it's justified because there is a lot of work involved. And when wrapping, the key to a good wrap is the prep, so making sure the car is very clean, the surface is very clean. So I was using alcohol to wipe down all the panels, clean them off, and then it's all about removing disassembly. So you got to disassemble things. You can't take shortcuts, and if the shop is not charging you that kind of money, they're taking shortcuts, because in order to spend the time and disassemble the door, to take off the mirror and the door handle, all that stuff, it's going to take time. So the shop has to charge you to do that properly and assemble everything properly. It's one thing to take things apart, but putting them back together at the same time, you don't want them to do any shortcuts or not spend time on your car assembling it correctly. So hopefully this answered a few of the questions that you guys have. Now, part of the reason I wanted to wrap the car is because there is some benefits to it. One, it protects the paint, and that's the number one reason I really wanted to do it. I thought about ceramic coating. I got quotes for ceramic coating that were, upwards of $1,000 and stuff like that. So I was like, why not just buy the roll of wrap? It's under $1,000 and it will protect my paint, at the same time give me a cool look, make the car look unique, and that's what I wanted. So for that reason, I wanted to wrap the car. So the unique aspect of it protects the paint, gives you a nice look on the car. It's reversible, which is a really cool thing. You can plastic dip and stuff like that. I don't know how well that works or what the finish is like, but the wrap finish that I chose is really nice, and it's not it's not something that I have to really worry about. So if I ever want to sell a car, whatever it is, for whatever reason, I can easily take it off. I can reverse it. The next owner can. Not that I'm saying I'm gonna sell the car. I fucking love this car. But that aspect is really cool. What else can I say about the wrap? I mean, it's just a cheap way to do it, honestly. That's the thing. The cost or the value is definitely there for me. Paying $550 was definitely a good deal, especially for the color and everything and how much wrap I was getting. And most importantly, the most valuable thing was just learning. It was such a awesome learning experience because I was working on my own car, so there's no pressure about somebody else getting mad. I got to take my time with it, and I'm very blessed to have another car that I could use in the time span. So the car was just sitting and I didn't have to move it or anything. I was just working on it in the garage. It was awesome. So that's really all it took. I'm gonna make a separate video in which I give some tips and tricks specifically for the Mustang. So if you do want to wrap your car, I say wait till you watch my video, because I'm gonna give you all that you need to know with regards to wrapping a Mustang specifically. So if you have a 2018, 2019, this is going to be the video for you, because I'm going to go over all the little stuff that you need to do and pre-plan for, so that you have a smooth wrapping experience and not mess up anything or waste money on wrap and stuff like that. So I'll be showing you the tools that I use, the knifeless tape and how to use it, how to set it up, all that good stuff. So if you do want to see that, drop a like on this video, because the likes help me know that you guys are liking these videos, as well helps the videos reach more people, helps the channel in general. So it really means the world to me when you guys like these videos and you share awesome comments and you're active in the comment section, because it means that we're doing well as a community here on the Rush Shift channel. So yeah, man, I don't know what more to say. I'm just super happy with how everything turned out. The next step for the car is gonna be lowering springs. Yes, I will be lowering the car. The lowering springs are actually at my house right now. I already got them, and after that we're going to be doing wheels. Now the reason I want to do wheels is because the car has good wheels on it. I like the wheels, but they cover up the calipers too much for my liking. I feel like the Brembos in the front look really good, and they definitely need to pop off a little more. So having wheels with less spokes is going to help that happen. So yeah, that's kind of the next two things. So we're going to do lowering springs and a new set of wheels and tires. Hopefully get something a little wider in the back, not too wide though, just something nice, and that should be it. Also, I had some questions about the badge. The badge is right here, and this is the new badge for the 5.0. Whoop, okay, I dropped it. So this is the new badge for the 5.0. It's black and it has a red dot. As you can see, red interior, red dot, looks pretty good, works. So that's what we're going to next. Whew. And lastly, I wanted to tell you where I got the wrap from because I just remembered that question came up. The wrap was purchased from MetroRestyling.com. So Metro Restyling is a huge, outlet or whatever, store for wraps. They carry every possible film you can think of, and it's all there, and all the pricing's there, free shipping. My wrap got to my house in like 2 days, so it was pretty awesome how quick it was. So yeah. Cool. Hopefully Metro Restyling sees this video and they offer me a new wrap, so hopefully I can wrap the Challenger. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Sorry we rambled on a little bit, but I really wanted to ask or answer all your questions on the wrap because you guys have been so awesome and supportive on yesterday's video. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for checking out this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.